Ah, I think it's on. Yeah, it is. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you might not like it. Um, I was thinking about a couple of different things. Old fan posted the beginnings of her movie, which is really great, and I really like the whole gender theme. It's a great, it's a good concept to play with. Um, I was thinking about it in the context of the Michiu Aku, Aku, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, these physics types who talk about intelligence and that it has somewhere to go, implying, that the mega intelligent would be as different from us as we are to ants. Those kind of comparisons. And I just think that's so fundamentally wrong um, in terms of understanding what intelligence mission statement is, which is to solve this problem we create. These spikes. Anyway, it's in the sense that we've had the problem created by the sentient condition, the fact that it can be in these dramatically different states, substantially different states, let's say, on this comfort scale, from comfortable to uncomfortable. And that really intelligence is just a means, a tool to maximize, to establish some sort of uh, better ratio, yeah, of comfort to discomfort, I suppose is one way of stating it. Lots of careful language that you need to use, I suppose, in terms of describing the nature of the commodity we're producing and consuming. It's kind of like the free will conversation, or some sort of conversation about the brain. You got to be real careful to kind of say brain does something, not you does something. And so all this language sort of does become important. So the mission statement is sort of an interesting, as a concept, just having this idea of the agenda engine. I've used those words. This mechanism, the agenda mechanism. Was this desire, is what keeps us in the game. It's the desire on one side of the scale, and the inevitable, and sometimes circumstantially substantial misery on the other side. And we are, seeing our life through the balance on that scale, in the context of killing yourself isn't easy. Jumping in front of a car, so it's rather dramatic as a physical experience. And obviously most people will say, well, I'd rather avoid that if there's some other way. So we're always looking for the other way, the better way. So the balance is slightly, well, it's not slightly, I almost argue it's substantially skewed, in life's favor, because of these circumstantial facts about how psychologically unintuitive, anti your intuition, dying is, being dead. Yeah, it's very opposite the conditioned response. And so there's obviously a bias there that also is to the benefit, of the, tipping in the affirmative. So desire doesn't have to be the only mechanism, positive desire, let's call it. You can have this very negative desire that's rather substantial. Not to pay too much. Not to do it. Because it sort of is important. It's like buying stuff at the store. Some of us are kind of frugal, and some people are kind of sloppy. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, people don't like, to pay twice as much for something. If it's easily prevented, if they can, easily find the better deal, they'd rather have the better deal. It's just logical. So again, we're sort of back to this argument that kind of logic is the same kind of logic a superintelligence is going to be applying. They're also going to be perfectly aware, obviously, of everything we're aware of, and the strength or necessity of the validity of concepts like efficiency aren't going to be weaker concepts in their world. They're going to be stronger concepts. I would say that's pretty substantially hard to argue truth. Damn, just it's a little cold. I have an injury on my finger, yeah, the cold is not doing it any good. Coolness, let's say. Anyway, that really is kind of crappy out here. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, I really don't. I like the idea of spring, but I would rather it just got here. I mean, some people complain, sometimes it goes too quickly from winter to summer, but yeah, I'd prefer to get there. Anyway, I think I'm allergic to the cat. I've said that before, though. Yeah, I am allergic to the cat. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so it is, I don't think there's any threat that there would be an intelligence, this whole idea that intelligence supersedes us or goes beyond us or does any of this, whatever that conversation is. I think outside of the insipid religious delusion, the God delusion, which is just insipid. It's anti-intelligent. It's belligerently retarded. I have no evidence. Yeah, faith. Fuck you, go to hell. I mean, that's all these people are saying. They have nothing, absolutely nothing logical to defend their faith, their belief. Yeah, compared to that, all intelligence couldn't relate. Anything intelligent can't relate to something belligerently retarded, and that's what it is. But take that out of the conversation. Take religion out of the conversation, and then you're back to human beings asking honest questions about the nature of existence. You're back to Plato's and stuff. People thinking, about what it means. I think, therefore I am. I don't think that's a great cliche, but clearly it's getting there. It's trying to say, what the hell is it? What's the nature of it? What does this thing do? These are exactly the the questions framed as rational questions. This is your starting point to understand. And I don't think any form or shape of intelligence would find that obnoxious. Something asking questions, well, certainly, they would applaud. Something researching and studying and contemplating to answer questions, fantastic. Again, the only thing that intelligence would find irritating, perhaps, or not worth the trouble, would be the belligerence, belligerent ignorance. Yeah, kind of misplaced, inappropriate, excessive confidence, maybe that kind of terminology. But there's not even, you can't even think of any reasonable theories that could be as obnoxious as religion. I mean, there's just nothing defending that. I'm quite irritated by, wave-particle duality as a concept. I don't think they have enough evidence, for any duality. So yeah, certainly not any evidence for absolute statements regarding absolute conditions of, the Heisenberg style principles. These certainly aren't laws, and I don't even think they're tendencies. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, the point being, the overriding point being, this is just a wrong way to think about what intelligence is. Intelligence is just a toolkit. It's just a box of instructions and, screwdrivers and pliers and that kind of stuff. It's not a personality. So to think that an alien species or form of life would be intelligent and yet an idiot, I don't think it could do that. Clearly we're an example of something pretty stupid, that has landed on the moon. And we did land on the moon, and the people in space were actually, a couple of them, religious nuts. So that is kind of weird, that after landing on the moon they would go try to find Noah's Ark or something. One of them did that. So you're saying, well, how could they, how could we be smart enough to land on the moon and yet dumb enough to live for a fable, and a silly, insane, psychotic one at that? But I guess what I'm arguing is that we're right on the cusp of that being impossible. We're almost intelligent enough for religion and our intelligence to be totally incompatible. I think. That you just can't progress one step further as an intelligent species. And if you're going to cling to that religion, you'll just start creating lies. So I could almost say that the whole quantum crap in physics, this whole entanglement bullshit, multiverses, string theory, all this crap, is just an expression of the perversion of reason to mold it into a religion, so that science is essentially incompatible at some level with this desire to expanderize our importance, our meaning. So you can sort of see this in the, people who will, call overt parasitism, symbiotic. Start saying kumbaya, the whole Gaia crap, the loving earth, whatever you know, fertilizing our path. You know, just it's such a perversion of the reality, so overtly reconstructionist. Deny the fact, you know, sing some circle of life song and pretend leechism is brilliant. You know, it's just so overtly a perversion of the truth, a destruction of it, you know, by this meme engine of you know, human-centric crap. So I guess that would be my argument, is that's sort of a sign of the incompatibility as we sit here on this cusp, you know, between dumb motherfucker and intelligent thing, you know, and we're clearly, in my opinion, leaning backward, and that we're going to fall backward, it would appear, rather than take that step forward, because that step forward is ugly. It just doesn't go anywhere fun. It goes to this role as a janitor, a recognition that this isn't some sort of theme park ride, that the blood isn't funny, the guts isn't funny, the pain isn't funny. It's just not funny. It's not a joy ride. But it's a more serious thing than that, and seriously flawed, in that it has no logical function. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah. So, yeah, I just wish I could have, you know, I wish there was some way to check all those bad arguments people make about, you know, alien psychology. You know, and they, you know, they preface it with, these are the most brilliant minds in the world. You know, Hawking's and Cuckoo. It's just like, wow, how'd they earn that? You know, it's just kind of tragic that, tragic, probably the wrong word. Yeah, it's just sort of another one of those liabilities, I suppose, of us having such a poorly founded human identity. The whole Olympics thing, you know, we're giving the gold medal to people for nonsense. They're not even rational sports. But the whole idea that we're giving gold medals for sports, you know, rather than intellectual achievements, intellectual high jumps. Yeah, looks like I better just cut this off. That noise is obnoxious. Fucking A. Hate that shit. I'll be back. I should go over there and film their truck. You know, just make a commercial about how obnoxiously loud, you know, this lousy company is. Hey, look, I got some more junk in the water I need to pick up next week. Ooh, I get that one. I don't know what the hell that is. What the hell is that? It's like a buoy or something. What the fuck is that doing in there? Stream buoy. Anyway. Bizarre. So where was I? Doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah, just this whole, the most, you know, when you really evolve into something, you know, you go those, whatever, those truest miles as an intelligence, Yeah, the truth is, all there is to do here is clean up an unnecessary mess. Clean up a mess that shouldn't be made. In terms of, you know, wasted and squandered suffering. Wow, they actually have something in this glass thing. Amazing. They haven't done much with this over the years. Kind of sloppy, but whatever, a little crookedy. So, boring trail map, lawn and garden. That's boring. Ongoing project. Well, it's kind of a boring project. Watershed ambassador. I'm not going to sign up. But that's here. Yeah, look at that. Newts. And dragonflies. So, lots of good stuff. Well, not really good. Adequate stuff, huh? Anyway. But yeah, that's really the best you can do in life is cleaning up. Right? So I guess there's a little bit of a connection. Ooh, there's something else in the stream down there. Something else for me to pick up, clean up. Yeah, that'd be cool. It's still kind of a pond here. I guess they should have pounded up the sand a little bit. Look at that, one of these trees grew here. Wow, I planted one of these maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Look at that, it is a birch tree. Holy shit. Wow, these things did okay. Shit, I didn't realize. I never checked, you know. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know how many years ago it was. Maybe it was 10 years ago. Should remember that kind of stuff. Well, it can't be 10 because I videoed some of it, I think. Maybe I didn't know. I don't know, I don't remember. But I do remember planting this stuff. I mean, helping, of course. Yeah, there's like some yellow thing in the stream. Yeah, cool. Yeah, some kind of garbage there. Yeah, so I can get that one too. So I can get that little white stuff there. There's some white stuff there. I'll get that too. I want to be so ahead of these people. Ah, look at that. Found another piece of garbage. Cool. Ew, dog do. I don't want that. Ew. What's in the plastic bag? Okay. Anyway, that's probably it. I don't want to be picking up people's dog shit. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, ending a video. It's really not supposed to be raining. It's pretty close to raining. It's cold. It's supposed to be kind of warm. It's cold. Anyway, so until next time. I forgot my damn e-cigarette. Damn. Fuck. Damn. damn. I know I forgot something. I knew it. I was saying to myself, you're forgetting something. Shit. Oh well. Yeah, well. Tough shit. Anyway, till next time. I really hate that I'm not allowed to smoke. Fucking Nazi country. Anyway, till next time. Etc.